Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we spent a few hours at the world's biggest liquor store. That is TheWhiskeyCove Wine and Liquor, and we spent $300. And we asked the question, how did we do? Let's find out. Run the video. All right then folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Whiskey Cove. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I'll tell you why that is a great idea to do that right now. And that is because we're having a 5,000 case of giveaway. Yes, we're a little bit away from that, but it gives us an opportunity to get some excellent whiskey for you folks at home. So far we've been slowly building up this free giveaway for you folks at home. That's all you need to do is be a subscriber. And so far we have an Old Forester barrel strength single barrel. Excellent whiskey, and that could be yours. But however, Alex, who is a subscriber to the channel, got in touch with me when I started putting out the lottery or the giveaway, and he wanted to donate and contribute to that lottery. And he sent us a Willet green top rye, 4-year rye, which is a phenomenal drinking bottle. And thank you so much, Alex. That was very nice of you, and I really appreciate that. He just wanted to give something to the channel to help us get to that 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So on the giveaway right now, we have these two bottles, but expect that to increase over the next couple of months. And you guys at home and girls will have a fantastic opportunity to come away with some really great whiskey for nothing. Just subscribing, that's it. So be on the lookout for some videos where we talk a little bit about the lottery coming up when we get closer to those 5,000 subscribers. However, for today's video, we went to the world's biggest liquor store, and that is TheWhiskeyCove Wine and Liquor. We've done a video there before. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. However, on today's episode, we went there and we spent $300. That's a lot of money in today's game. Yes, you have to account for inflation and tax, so we didn't really take into account tax, so to speak. We just went $300 before out the door. So let's take a little look at what we have here. So we have quite a decent amount of bottles here right now. And a lot of people on the channel kind of ask me how I'm able to get access to some really great whiskey bottles. And that's because I kind of live fairly close to the world's biggest liquor store. Fortunately, I have that opportunity that they have quite the selection, and I built up a decent rapport with them. I spend a lot of money there, as you can see, and they'll allow me to have some allocation bottles along with everybody else in return who spends money. So let's deep dive into those bottles that I managed to get for $300 today. And we've asked the question, how did I do? And I guess we'll discuss that at the end. So bottle number one, and this is a bottle I've been kind of looking for a little bit of a while. I know this bottle is readily available in Kentucky, but maybe not so much around the continental US. And that is going to be Jim Beam's release of Old Tub. So this came in at $19.99. So like I said, I've been trying to chase this bottle for a while here. It is unfiltered, and it is it's been a while around for a while. A little bit of a bottom sitter there for some. And I know that one of the original founders, I think it maybe is, I don't want to say Jim Beam, it might have been James Beam. He liked, or one of the Beam family, let's just say that. So he liked to drink his Old Tub with some raisins inside of it. So I really want to give that a try, which is why I wanted to find this bottle. So this is coming in at a 50% alcohol or 100 proof, so excellent proof there. And for $19.99, I've tried this with the raisins actually at the Jim Beam distillery, and I really liked it. So I kind of want to do that myself. And I think this is a really good alternative for a lot of the Jim Beam stuff, which maybe sits a little bit higher. Obviously not taking into account the regular Jim Beam stuff, but kind of like your Knob Creeks and your Bookers and that sort of stuff. Or maybe even the Basil Haydens. This sits a little bit of a higher proof there. So Old Tub, unfiltered for $19.99. Bottle number one. Bottle number two, we kind of got into a little bit of an allocated bottle here. So I'm happy to say that I managed to also pick up a Henry McKenna 10-year. So Henry McKenna is bottled in bond, and it is also a single barrel, coming in at 50% ABV or 100 proof. So Henry McKenna is kind of a little bit of hit and miss. Yes, they always seem to do well at the San Francisco Spirit Awards, because they're entering a single barrel, so they can kind of cherry pick the best barrels that could potentially win them that award. But say if you buy 10 bottles of Henry McKenna, I would say 3 are excellent. I would say 3 are just okay, and then 3 are on the lower side, so to speak. And you have to take into consideration this bottle about 2 or 3 years ago was about $30 to $40. However, that price has skyrocketed since a lot of those awards and just bourbon in general across the board has just got a lot more expensive. So I did pay, I think it was, let me check my list here, $64.99. So around that sort of price has become the new normal here in Colorado at MSRP. You can't always find it, but it is becoming a lot more findable. And as you'll see from the pictures, there was a couple on the shelf there. So I was happy to get this, and I'm hoping that this is going to be one of the hitter ones, one of the 3 that are absolute hitters. I guess we'll wait and see. I needed this guy because we killed off the other Henry McKenna a few months ago there. So that was bottle number 2. So then bottle number 3 was kind of a whiskey, kind of a bourbon, kind of not, and that is going to be the bourbon cream. This stuff is fantastic. Out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. This is coming in at 15% ABV or 30 proof. It is open because me and my wife like this a lot, and it's not always available where we are here in Colorado. As you can see, there was a lot on the shelf, so I definitely wanted to get a bottle, and I'll definitely be going back for more. $26.99. It's definitely a much better alternative to something like a Bailey's. I prefer this because it's a little bit sweeter and has a lot more of those like caramel, vanilla, bourbon notes. It's just a go-to for me. I really like this around Christmas time with some eggnog as well, so that's an excellent drink there. And that was bottle number 3. So for bottle number 4, we picked up a bottle from Las Vegas. We didn't go to Las Vegas to pick up the bottle, we picked it up from Devo, of course, otherwise this video wouldn't make sense. That is Smoke Wagon Uncut and Unfiltered. So these uncut and unfiltered have a variation of ABV and proof. This one, however, is coming in at 58.12% ABV, so that would be 116.24 proof. So getting up there, cask strength at that point. And these are becoming a little bit more easier to find in Colorado specifically. You can mostly go to any big liquor store here in Colorado, pick these up. I did pay $74.99, which isn't a terrible price. I see these quite a lot marked up for about $100. Though I think that this juice is fantastic, I don't quite think it's about the $100 mark, but for $74.99, I think it's worth every penny of it. And this is a really great dog. The whole Smoke Wagon lineup, the 3 originals, if you like, the straight bourbon whiskey, the small batch, and the uncut and filtered, I like to offer to some of my Scotch drinker friends who come around, because they definitely have some of those like herbal, earthier notes to them as well. And I get some stone fruit there as well. So there's some crossover with like Scotch, Irish or Welsh whiskey. So if you have some friends at home who don't drink bourbon, the Smoke Wagon range might be a great introduction for them. It is sourced from MGP or Ross and Squibb. So it's really interesting that even though it's sourced from there, I've never had anything from MGP that kind of tastes like this. So that really lends to Smoke Wagon's blending. I think they do an excellent job more or less all the time. And I'm hoping that this would also lend to be an excellent job as well, because they do them in different runs. This is like 129B, and I started at 1. So they do them in different runs, and some folks do say there's subtle differences between each 2. I haven't found that myself. I think it's all quite consistently good. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. That was bottle number 4. So bottle number 5 on this list, we went down to Kentucky, metaphorically speaking. We went to Cooper's Craft, owned by Brown-Forman now. Cooper's Craft 100 is an absolute staple here in the Whiskey Cove. Cooper's Craft 100 and Old Forester 100 are phenomenal juice. They just lend to a bit more of a sweeter palate. If you're someone who likes a sweeter bourbon, but maybe something that's a little bit higher proof, so the proof cuts through that sweetness a little bit, then you can't go wrong with Cooper's Craft 100. Coming in at $29.99. The proof on this is 100 proof, Cooper's 100 or 50% ABV. And like I said, it came in at a measly $29.99. So this wasn't always available in Colorado, but for the last year or so, it definitely, we've had a better allocation of this. It's definitely if I want to have something in a cocktail or just drink something neat on a school day, I'll definitely lean towards this. But an excellent addition to the $300 we've spent. So $29.99 Cooper's Craft 100. So So then for bottle number 6, and we went full tater on this bottle, and that is going to be Mellow Corn 100. So this is the first time that I've actually ever bought a bottle of Mellow Corn. I've tried it a bunch of times at a few people's houses because they always want to try to catch me off guard for my palate there. And for what it is, it's not terrible juice at all. It is made by the Heaven Hill Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, and I paid $18.99 for this. And it is a full corn, straight corn mash bill. I believe it's 100% corn in this. 50% ABV or 100 proof bottled in bond there as well. I'm excited to get into this, and I might want to do some stuff for this on the channel and kind of see maybe how I can battle up against some more expensive stuff there as well. But I don't drink many corns whiskey just because there's not much out there. I know the Heaven Hill released, I think it was a 17-year-old corn whiskey, which is probably this like on steroids. It was part of the Heritage Collection. However, we definitely were not able to get that because that would have just blown our budget. But we managed to get this for $18.99. So that leaves us with one more bottle, and definitely my favorite bottle on this list. This bottle is mostly findable, depending on where you live, but definitely mostly findable. It's been released in the last few years as well, so it hasn't been out there that long. And it's not a bourbon, it is a rye, because that is the Sagamore Spirits Double Oaked Rye. So this bottle was the Whiskey Cove's Whiskey of the Year for 2022. So a rye managed to get the top spot. And that is because this bottle of whiskey is absolutely phenomenal. We have an open one over here, but it's not quite rye season, but I anticipate that I'm gonna drink that there pretty soon, so I needed a backup, and when I saw this for $55.99, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna pick this up every time if I have that sort of money in my budget. Sometimes you can find it a little bit more pricier in the smaller stores, but for $55.99, I thought this was an excellent pick up there. Think banana nut bread with some caramel sauce drizzled on top. Again, much like the Cooper's 100, if you like the sweeter palate, you're gonna get that with this, about the rye spice and that little bit of heat that you get, because it's about 40, what is it here? It is 48.3 proof, so it's just enough proof to cut through some of those sweeter flavors with that rye spice there. So if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, you need to, because that giveaway is just going to be fantastic. We're all going to enjoy it, and hopefully some of you folks at home, some of the fans, or some of the people who just enjoy watching the videos are able to get your hands on a bottle of whiskey that you may not be able to get anywhere else. So as we say on this channel, as we drink through the world's whiskeys, one glass at a time, cheers.